Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. This is my second video in a row, so if you didn't see the first one I posted just about 24 hours ago, then go and check that out. It regards a very secretive project and something that was just shot up into space. And to start this video, I recalled another video I did a year or two or maybe 3 back, and we were talking about how these space agencies like to name their rockets or their payloads that they're sending up into space after legendary UFO incidents, code words, or as I was speaking about in yesterday's video, this new so-called classified weather satellite that was launched that they so happen to call Monolith, wherein which I then went on to show you guys why the word monolith is so paramount to the UFO community. And how there are actual monoliths found standing on various other planets and moons in our solar system. But anyway, you guys can check that video out. I'll put the link at the end of this video and down in the video description. But like I said, it got me thinking, where have I seen this before, where NASA or another space agency, public or private, has created a mission and named it after something very obvious to the UFO community, sort of a poke in the eye to you and me? Well, I just remembered, and it happens to do with something called the Black Knight satellite. And for those of you who haven't seen the 1,000,000 or 2 videos I've done about this subject, real quick, the Black Knight satellite is said to be an alien satellite, if you will, an alien probe that has been orbiting planet Earth for perhaps millions, if not mere hundreds or thousands of years. And there is literature and evidence out there on the internet that way back, and I think it was the 1930s or 40s, a couple of astronomers picked this thing up out in space orbiting the Earth, and they quickly noticed this was not a normal satellite. This thing would change direction and movement at will. And this was before we had ever launched a satellite even. So we had no technology up there that we could just move around or change direction. And this thing started changing direction so much that they eventually lost track of it. And we don't know if they still have track of it or if they ever got track of it back. But that is the tale of the Black Knight satellite. And then later on, during one of the shuttle missions, some very infamous images came out, which you're seeing here, which many people believe may depict the alien Black Knight satellite. Although later on NASA attempted to scramble off and call it a space blanket that was just floating. Well, it doesn't look like a space blanket to me. It looks very alien in nature, and there are multiple photos of this thing hovering above planet Earth. And so yeah, that is the legend of the Black Knight satellite. There's an alien probe, much like these alien monoliths found on other planets. And so I did a little digging, and I found out that yes, I was indeed correct, that there had been another mission by a space company wherein which again they were launching a classified satellite up into space, and guess what they used as their mission patch image? Well, you're seeing it right here. None other than a Black Knight. And it was dubbed the NROL-37 satellite. And there were a few really strange things about this launch. It was a secret payload that was backed by the United States National Reconnaissance Office, of all people, which then had connections to the NSA. And to this day, we still have no idea what this secret quote-unquote satellite that they sent up was, but we do have this mission patch here of an obvious Black Knight, sort of another jab in the eye of the UFO community, saying, haha, we know this thing exists. And maybe this was sent up to follow the Black Knight satellite, and that's why they used the patch. But anyway, guys, you guys can look it up, NROL-37 satellite. And for more information about these strange missions, be sure to check out that newest video I just posted. So now to move forward, just want to show you some really cool UFO material. How about that? And the first discovery comes from Scott C. Waring over at UFO Sightings Daily, where he has once again captured not only a UFO near the sun via the SOHO satellite, which is a satellite that we have aimed at the sun 24/7 24/7, 365, taking video and imagery of our sun, and he has captured not only a UFO, but this appears to be a black triangular shaped UFO, a TR-3B, if you will, which just happens to be the subject of the documentary I'm working on with Darcy Weir, which I also speak about in the previous video. And so you're seeing the first image here taken from the official NASA website. And Scott Waring said when he posted this, quote, "I first reported this black triangle UFO about 2 years ago. It's still there today, but moves from one place to another. Its location about 5 years ago was in the upper left corner of the sun. Then, suddenly it disappeared and reappeared in the lower right corner about 2 years ago, and since then I've been watching it and seeing it in various places, popping up and then vanishing." And so you're taking a little bit of a closer look here at this thing, and it becomes more and more clear, and this can be seen at the HelioViewer website. And just to give you an idea of how massive this object is, you can see this little square appear to the left. That's what Earth looks like compared to the sun. That's Earth to scale. And so, as you're looking at this object, it looks to be about a quarter of the size of our own planet, which is massive. And it indeed is a black triangle. Here's some even closer up shots, once again, next to the Earth scale image. And finally, the closest shot here of something, I don't know, but I'm about to show you some more images snapped by NASA's own satellites. Some of the objects they leave in there, some of them they obfuscate using these black square blocks that they just place over top of whatever they're trying to hide. So let's go ahead and go to the first image. And so here we have an image of the sun. We're just seeing the corner of the sun, which is to the right here, and you can see the plasma, this yellow fog-like plasma coming off of the sun, and then right there in the middle appears to be a black spherical object, possibly ciphering energy from the sun. We've seen many of these spherical UFOs before that look to be sucking energy off of the sun's surface, and here is yet another image of what appears to be something that is ciphering energy from the sun. You can see this plasma that is like circling almost into this elongated, swirling, tornado-like shape that looks to be heading straight into a big black square because NASA placed the square over top of whatever this is. Now, some people have said that these are actually giant square UFOs, but I've seen enough in my past 10 years of doing this on YouTube to know that pretty much these are just cover-up squares rather than actual UFOs themselves. But that's not to say that NASA hasn't accidentally let some slip through before being able to edit them out. So let's go on to the next one. All right, so here is one I really love, taken back in 2012. Now, in this satellite, they have a small black disc that is right in the middle of the satellite, and it covers up the sun. So inside of that white circle, that's where the sun is. And then you can see its rays shining out. And then if you look just down to the left, with the sunlight reflecting off of it perfectly from the direction of where the sun is coming from, we have this very, very strange and long sort of, sci-fi movie type ship that looks to be just sort of hanging out, not too close, but not too far from our sun. And I mean, look at this. This thing has size to it. It has depth. It has light and shadow. It changes direction. It has shape, sort of like an L shape to it. It curves at the end. It has little arms sticking out of it, reflecting light. And the back of it is in shadow, just like it should be if it was right next to the sun. And so this is one of my favorite images of a UFO captured near the sun. Has to be massive. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. And here we have another sphere, probably the most infamous of all of them, where there's actually a video out there. I'm not going to find it right now. I'm just now moving files to this new PC. I don't have the video file yet, but here's a still image of another one of these spheres, where if you just go to YouTube and search large spherical UFO sucking energy from the sun, you'll see a ton of videos of this object coming up to the sun. You'll see another one of these tornadoes of plasma being sucked up from the sun into the sphere before the sphere finally detaches and flies away. It's an amazing clip, and it's a perfect way for an alien ship to refuel itself as it moves from solar system to solar system. And here we have another clip. The sun is off to the upper right corner, covered by the black disk on the satellite. And some of these will be green, some of them are red, but whatever is colored is space. And here we have another very similar shaped UFO to that long one that I just showed you, where it kind of curved at the end like a number 7. Something very similar lingering near the sun. Let's go ahead and move forward. This is a very interesting one where we have the sun up in the left-hand corner, barely peeking out, and then probably what amounts to thousands of miles away from it, we have what I like to call the dropping UFO, because it almost looks like a flare dropping from the sky, where we have 3 distinct dots, and then this long red spike coming up from the top of it, almost as if it's streaking down from the sky, or that's just what it looks like, or the way it was built. But very, very strange shape. Definitely not a star, not another planet. And these things just go on and on. They're always lurking around the sun. Here is a disc-shaped object that looks to be blasting away from the sun at the time that the SOHO satellite snapped this image. Go ahead and zoom in on that. What do you guys think? It even looks like it has some trail blur, coming off of it. Just like you would, the same type of blur you would have if you snapped a bird or a jet flying by. It leaves sort of a blurry trail in the background. Here is yet again another favorite. You know what? They're all my favorites. Of a rather small, tiny UFO, which leads me to believe that it's much closer to the sun, where it looks like we have just a straight beam of plasma leading straight from the sun to the object. Or possibly it's a laser beam of some sort being shot down to the sun. Who knows, but another weird, wild image. And yet again, here we have Mr. Black Square blocking out something that looks to be causing a ruckus on the sun, because the only part of the sun's horizon that seems to be showing any massive plasma activity is right here at the edge where this black square is. So, I'm telling you guys, it's energy, it's plasma. They want that plasma. Need it. Here is another image of a sort of a cross-shaped object caught near the sun. Not sure when this was taken, but it looks to be very close. Very, very close. Must have some amazing heat shielding, that's for sure. Here we have a very strange green object that looks like it has arms and 2 legs coming off of it. Again, it may not be green because these satellites, they take images of the sun in many different wavelengths and different colors, but nonetheless, it looks like a ship with 2 legs coming off of it, or 4 smaller objects coming down from the bottom, parallel with one another. Really cool. And lastly, here we have yet another sphere, one that I broke on the channel like 4 or 5 years ago, and you can't seem to find many images anymore of this on Google. It's like they've scrubbed it, but it was a massive 3-dimensional sphere that was caught hanging around the sun down toward the lower left underneath the sun, and it was obviously 3-dimensional. You're seeing one of the only images of that I could find, and it doesn't seem to be interacting with the sun, but just sitting there. And so, yeah, guys, those are just a couple of the many, many more UFOs that we've seen, countless times lingering around our sun. So maybe one day I'll do a video featuring every single sun UFO I have ever seen. Who knows? But I just wanted to post another video tonight for you guys. Tell me what you think about these images. Tell me what you think about this massive black, Earth-sized almost triangle captured again near the sun. These black triangles have been captured before, as you're seeing here in this red image, yet another one. And tell me what you think about the Black Knight satellite and these very, very strangely chosen mission patch images and mission names that they're using for all of these classified payloads and quote-unquote weather satellites that they're launching up there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check out our merch shop. I have a ton of new tees with new logos. We have hats, we have tank tops, hoodies, you name it, we got it. Your support means the world. YouTube doesn't like this type of stuff. Please subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as well. It's not that bad, guys. I never used it before, but now I love it. It's a great way for me to post extra content. And lastly, if you would like to support me on Patreon and get behind the scenes footage, image and extra perks like autographed stickers and Secure Team button pins that you can pin on your shirt, head over. The links are down in the video description. We have around 500 Patreon members. I'd love to hit 1,000. You donate monthly, you can cancel whenever you want, and you get a ton of extra behind the scenes material. So thank you guys, stay safe, stay tuned, and I will have yet another video out to you in just a bit.